Hey guys, Jason Creel, and this is The Lawn Care Life. I learned some important lessons that I think we can apply in a lawn care business from my recent truck purchase, and I want to share that with you in this video. Stay tuned. I just finished buying my first ever brand new vehicle, and you know, talking with car salesmen can be a challenging situation, and I felt like it went pretty good, you know, and I'm fine with it going pretty good. I don't think it has to go great. I don't think, you know, it always has to go great, but I wanted to share with you, just based on the conversations I had, what I feel like I learned about my own business, and maybe even compare it with another experience I had at a different business. As far as sometimes when we reverse roles, you know, we're so much used to being the business owner in our lawn care businesses that sometimes we forget what it's like to be the customer, and a lot of times when I can switch roles and I can be the customer, then I'm able to understand, okay, I guess that's what it's like to be a customer, and what, you know, that bothered me when they said that made me feel great when they said that, and then I can in turn apply that to my lawn care business. So alright, so let me get to the story. I bought the truck and I was talking with two different dealers about an F-250. Basically had, you know, and I just thought it'd be smart to have two different dealers. I've never done this before, bought a brand new vehicle, but I wanted to at least have two dealers working virtually the same truck. One was a different color than the other. And I got them down to what I felt like was what they would sell the truck for. And one was around $300 more than the other dealer. And it really came down to the color of the truck. I ended up getting the one that was $300 cheaper, mostly because of the color of the truck, was not that it was $300 cheaper, but though I was appreciative that it was $300 cheaper. Well, I reached a verbal agreement with the salesperson that it was, you know, for the price, for $300 cheaper. And, you know, they knew I was talking to another dealer, and I even told them what the offer was on the table from the other dealer. And that's why when we agreed that, hey, if you'll sell it to me for $300 cheaper, which happened to be a good round number, then I'll come buy it today. And they said, okay, deal. I said, okay, deal, I'll be there, you know. And I was ready to go. I filled out the credit application. They called me back minutes later and say, well, actually, you know what, we found out we can't sell it to you for that price, but we can match the other guy's deal, $300 more. That made a little sick feeling in my stomach. Not over $300, you know. It's $300 is $300, but at the end of the day, in a truck purchase, that's not that much money. But when you make a verbal agreement with somebody, and at the point we made the verbal agreement, I went on and filled out a credit application, and then I get a phone call shortly after saying, oh, I'm sorry, we actually can't honor that verbal agreement, but we can sell it to you for this other price, just like the other guy. Of course, I get upset and I say, listen, I tell you what, if you don't come back off to what we agreed upon, then I will hang up the phone and I will go straight over there and buy the other one from the other guy. I mean, you know, he hadn't deceived me and made a verbal agreement, backed that up. You just don't do that. In my opinion, you don't do that. And I thought, you know what, how does that apply to my lawn business? I think, you know, one, people want to be dealt with honesty and integrity, okay? And that's hands down. I mean, like, that translates to any business. And so I want to make sure when I tell somebody something that I try to communicate as clearly as possible, and then I honor that. And okay, let me fast forward the story. I wasn't terribly upset with that. You know, I ultimately, you know, they call me back, they come off the price again. They say, okay, we made a mistake, but we'll honor the price. And I said, okay, that's fine, you know, I'll be down there to buy it. And I got there, they all shake my hand, congratulate me on this new vehicle, and I said, you know, that's fine. They said mistakes happen. I said, no, that's understandable. Well, after the purchase, they want you to leave them a perfect review, you know, and I don't know, maybe this is me being stubborn. I don't like giving a perfect review if I didn't have a perfect experience. I don't want to just get on there and say, oh, this was the perfect experience, me buying a truck, I highly recommend. You know, I'm like, well, it wasn't. I mean, I had a verbal agreement and it backed out, and I had to threaten to walk away to get the deal back that we had agreed on. So it wasn't a perfect experience. You know, so they call me and they say, hey, we're going to get this verbal, you know, we want to do this survey for us and give us a perfect score. Would you do that for me? And I wouldn't agree to. I said, you know, and then this is kind of where it fast forward and bothered me a little bit more. You know, and I like I said, at the same time, I'm not going to go on there and give them a bad score. They want a perfect score. Anything less than perfect is considered an F, you know. Well, I'm not going to give them a perfect score. At the same time, I'm not going to give them a bad score. I was genuinely happy with the deal I got, with how I was treated, except for that one mistake. And back in, you know, so I thought, I'm not going to give them a bad score by any means, but I'm just not going to give them perfect. Well, anyway, a manager calls me, and she wants to know what's going on. You know, how are you liking your truck? Is everything done to the fullest of your satisfaction? I took the time. I said, well, you know what, I'm very happy with the truck. I think it's a great truck. Everybody was professional with me. I said there was one incident that happened, and that was the reason I was unable to give a perfect score. So she said, you're unable to give a perfect score? I said, yeah, I'm not going to give a perfect score. And she said, I'm sorry to hear that. What happened? And I explained to her. I said, we had an agreement. He backed out of the agreement, and you know, I had to threaten to walk away to get the deal. I said, that's unprofessional in my mind. I don't play like that. And then here's something else I learned. She began to tell me that they lost $800 on the deal. Okay? Nobody believes that. I don't believe for 2 seconds they lost $800 on the deal. I don't believe it for 2 seconds. I mean, why would you sell something you lose $800? And that's just $300, you know, the difference was $300. So what she's saying is, we were gonna lose $500, but we decided because of this, now we lost $800. Why would you lose $500? I don't believe that for 2 seconds that they lost $500 or $800 or $0 on the deal. I don't believe it. And whether it's true or not, you don't tell your customer that. The last thing you want to do in the lawn business is try to guilt your customer into service. You know, make them feel sorry for you, make them feel bad if they don't choose you. Don't do that. You know, and basically what she told me was, she said, well, it's just, you know, disheartening that we lost $800 on you trying to put together a deal and you won't give us a perfect review, you know. And I'm like, well, I sure ain't giving you a perfect review now that you guilt me into taking you lost $800, which I don't think is true. And then you're gonna make me try to feel bad, you know, which it didn't work. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all, because one, I don't believe they lost $800. And two, I just got to think about it. I was like, listen, if I went inside a store and bought a Snicker bar for $1 and walked outside and said, Snicker bar for sale, 50 cents. Anybody want it? And I sold it for 50 cents. And then I tried to guilt him over the fact that I just lost 50 cents over that Snicker bar I sold you. Don't you feel bad? Won't you give me a perfect review? No, I'm an idiot for selling the Snicker bar for half price. That's not the customer's fault. Again, that's if it was true. If you voluntarily sold something at an $800 loss or a $500 loss, whichever one it was, then that's not smart business. Nobody believes it's true. Maybe they sold it for $800 below what they were hoping to make or whatever. But, you know, anyway, point is, again, you make customers mad when you do stuff like that. Different experience I had. I took my car, my other truck, to a mechanic to have some work done on it. And I the price was higher than what I wanted to pay. He called me back and he said, you know what, I can take a little bit off. And he said, you know, we just want to make sure you're happy and do a good job with the work. He said, we can take a little bit off that price. Would you be willing to, you know, do it for this? I said, yeah, that's fine. Let's just go ahead and do it. So I paid him the price. When I picked up my truck, there was a bottle of water in the truck with a personalized thank you card that was handwritten thanking me for the business, a bottle of water with a little card on it offering me a discount if I was able to give them a referral. I was emailed a thank you and a satisfaction survey. I'm just saying they went above and beyond. He picked me up to carry me to get my truck. I was wanting to understand what they were doing. He let me speak with the mechanic. And the mechanic was able to fully explain what was going on with my vehicle, why the repairs were needed. were necessary. And so after speaking with the owner and a manager and a mechanic, which maybe I'm high maintenance, you know, but they all came across very professional. I paid you know, what I felt like was a fair price for the work that needed to be done. You know, mechanics are not cheap, but they treated me very professionally where I'm not upset about the price I paid. You know what I'm saying? They didn't guilt me into, well, we should have got a little bit more for that work we did, but you know, you talked us down or whatever. You know, hey, if a car salesman gets out negotiated, which I don't think they did, I don't think I out negotiated these two salesmen plus a manager. You know, anyway, the whole point is, you make your customers mad and then you try to guilt them into the fact that, you know, will you please leave us a 5-star review because we lost so much money on you. Don't do that to your lawn care customers. Let me hear what you guys think in the story. And again, the point is not I'm not mentioning where I bought the vehicle or anything like that. That's not the point. The point is understanding, using real life experiences to know how we can in turn treat our customers so that this doesn't happen in your lawn business. Hope the story helps. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks.